Epix Systems again. This is a short tutorial to supplement the video that we've already done regarding the communications templates or sending letters from the system. By that we're going to do a new video, but this time we're going to focus on emailing from the system. Rather than producing a PDF letter, say, we're going to do an email. You may already be aware that there is emailing from the system from places such as the job sheet and invoice sheets as well. So if you were to go to a job sheet, say for example this one here, and do print and then email, this will allow you to send an email from the job sheet where you can attach various information about the job here, and also you can attach any surveys and if there are photographs and so on. And of course you can customize the email and send it out. Well, the purpose of doing the video today is to explain another way of doing an email, and in a way that you'll get a little bit more flexibility in terms of what you can put in the email content. So you'll be able to create an email template, so something that automatically appears here, maybe even with information about the job. Now the way we're going to do these emails from the system is via the communications button on the job sheet. Now the way we set up the communication is very similar to the way we did it with the letters. So again, under the setup and communications templates, or maybe captioned as letters in your system, we select there. And of course we can use this screen to search for existing communication templates, but I'm going to show you how to create a new one for today. So we click New Entry. Now this is the screen where we complete the content that we want the communication to be, and over here on the right hand side is this is the sort of communication it is, and also the name and the description of things that you're going to give to it. So I'm just going to call this email job for now. And this is going to be a communication style of a job, and it's not a letter, it's going to be an email. Here we have our list of available replacements, as you can see here, and we can now start to construct our email in this area here. So the example I'm going to use is an email that you might send to your client once the works have been carried out and you're sending over any documentation to supplement the work, as well as perhaps the invoice. Now the first thing I'm going to do before I carry on is I'm going to save this, so I'm going to press continue. And the reason for that is that now I've saved it, if I make any mistakes or I want to go back and change anything, I can always revisit the previous version. Same as you would always do, it's always good practice with things like Word documents and so on. So as we can see, that's saved successfully with the message here. So we'll begin now by typing our template email that we want to send to our person regarding this job. So I'll begin with an informal hi and then a space, and then here we would normally type the name of the person in your email. So if you were doing this manually, you'd be typing the name. The idea of the communications template is we use our available replacements here to substitute fields from the database, so we don't have to type certain information. So we could put in the asset contact by selecting that and pressing insert, and the asset contact would be the name of the contact at the site that we visited. So if that's the person you want to send this to, then you could put that in there. Of course we do have other substitutions relating to clients, for example, so the client name, you could maybe just put, the client contact, for example, as well, anything like that. So I've now put our asset contact, and we're now going to put a reference of the job number. So again, I'd choose, for example, either the job number or something like that. So the ticket number, I'm going to go with the job number, which is the customer reference number from the job sheet. Press insert, and we might decide to make that one bold. And then we would then type our email. So here we are, I've now typed my email. So as you can see, we've got the asset contact here, and then I've inserted from the database the job number. So the reference for this email is job number from the database, the address that we visited, which was the asset address, and then the job details, which was the job description that would have been entered at the time that the job was created in the system. And then I've just included some text to go in the email, and my own name, and I've also inserted the contractor information. So that's my company. I'm emailing from my database, from my system. So when you do this, this would be your own company logo along with your address and telephone number at the bottom. So a bit like an email signature. Now of course you can do various things. You can insert images into this and you can reformat it into however you want with different coloured text and so on. I'm doing a fairly basic one at the moment, but if you do have any questions on how you might insert images or some formatting questions, then don't hesitate to shout. So this email is now complete, so I would now press the continue button here to save that. And that's now saved and is now added to the list of all the available communications within the system, and there's the email job communication. So how do we use our new email? Well, from the job sheet, as I previously explained, you would normally be using the print and the email button to send your communications out of the system. So often you would email yourself a job sheet or something from here. However, now we've created a new communication, we go over here to communications, and then we find in our live search here whichever one it is that you've just created. So ours was the email job, and then I press continue. And then what you can see has happened now, we've got a very similar screen to what you would have seen on the communications video if you've already watched that, where we get the email that we want to send here. And we've got the name of the contact, the job reference, the address, and the details of the job. And also, as we can see, I've included our own contractor information at the bottom of the email. Now, of course, we can make changes to this. If you wanted to add any further information to this body of the email, you could do. But assuming all is okay, we press email. And this takes us into this screen where we can now again make further changes to the email communication, but the difference is it's now put the contents of that email into here, and we can now attach the job sheet. If there were any photographs on this particular job here, we could do that. If there was an invoice, we could attach it as well, and we can attach a whole host of things to our email before we send it. And we type our email address where we want to send it to here, and then we press send email. And once the email has been sent, on the dashboard widget for communication history, we also get to see a summary of what we sent. So here is the email we've just sent now. There's the description of the email settings, if you like, and here we've got the content of the email. So if I scroll down here, we can see that was the email I sent, and if I keep scrolling, below that I also have sent an attachment. And that sound you just heard in the background was the sound of the email arriving in my inbox. So that's how you do it. You go to the setup menu and you create a communications template that is set up as an email. Then you go to your job, and instead of using the print button here, you use the communications button to find the communication or the letter template that you've just set up, and you email that. If you've got any questions about anything you've just seen there, or you'd like any additional information about how it works, then don't hesitate to give me a shout.